And now let's bring on Dan. It is time to talk about the Washington Commanders and their. This one was tough, man. This one was dialed completely in. It's at 9.5 wins. So in the comment section, tell us what you like. Chat. Yeah. What's your opinion here? Only notes I have here, Dan, they did do a good job adding some depth on the defensive line. Will Harris, Javon Kinlaw, Goldman, Jonathan Jones. They added Deebo Samuel. I don't really put a whole lot of stock into Deebo. It helps a little bit. 11-6 last year. 2 of their losses were to you guys.
I didn't wear the right hat. Yeah, I didn't wear the right hat. Yeah.
Then they lost
three of them if you count the one that really mattered. But we'll talk the 2 since we're talking regular season.
Yeah, so look at their schedule: 6 primetime games. The weird ones are the 2 games against Philly in week 16 and 18. Who knows what those games.
And they're horrible. They're horribly scheduled, dude. Here's what I'll say is the NFL did Washington absolutely no favors. It's not like they have a particularly tough schedule when you just look top to bottom at who they're facing off against, but they're still sitting top 5 in worst rest differential. And you pointed it out there. That stretch to end the season, is just brutal. So to start the year, they have to play Green Bay in week 2. They have 4 days of rest. So that game's going to be 4 days after their first game. And then you got a short week to face Dallas in week 7. And then you end the season with this just awful stretch. Like, does the NFL have it out for Washington? Because you face the Eagles on a short week. You have 5 days of rest to play Dallas. And then you have a flex game against the Eagles that might be Sunday Night Football. Could be another Saturday game. It could be that Monday game that they pop in there. Well, I guess the Monday game is what they do once the playoffs start. So probably won't be a Monday game. So you're not looking at any extra rest following that Dallas game. So I just think that's absolutely brutal. And at risk at sounding like the Eagles homer and having the comments absolutely destroy me, I just don't see how there couldn't be at least some form of regression for this Washington team. Now, if that translates to fewer wins than the 12 they had last year, that remains to be seen. But Andy, how many times have we seen the sophomore season for the young phenom quarterback be that equalizer? And not to be the talking head where, well, now defenses can game plan against him. Like, no, he's still going to be insanely hard to game plan against. Don't get me wrong. Jaden Daniels is a generational talent, but we also saw a generational like talent in CJ Stroud, who still, the Texans were good last year, but I think you would be hard pressed to find someone who didn't say CJ Stroud took a little bit of a step back in his sophomore season after way over exceeding. And I kind of see parallels between this club and maybe what to expect in them in year 2. Still a playoff contender with Washington, comparing them to the Houston Texans, but I just don't know if it'll be, a 12-win style thing. And before I get your thoughts on this, Andy, I looked it up quick just because I thought, oh man, Washington, recent history has not been kind to Washington. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited to have a rivalry back in the NFC East for sure. But do you know the last time that Washington had back-to-back double-digit win seasons?
I mean, was Joe Gibbs the coach?
Well done. That's actually that's well done, Andy. I think you earned yourself some rightful applause. It was when Joe Gibbs was still the head coach. Andy, it was 34 years ago. 34 years ago, it was 1991, and that was when they reached and won the Super Bowl. So if you think Washington's going to win the Super Bowl this year, you have to go over on this. But double-digit wins has not been the MO in back-to-back years for the Commanders. Over 3 decades, Andy. So if they are to get 10 wins, it's going to break generationally what we've kind of seen with this ball club.
Yeah, a couple pieces on the schedule before we give our official plays. And again, these are not official plays. We're betting where there are money. We are forced to pick all these. So the first 11 weeks, the schedule is just all over the place. They have a couple easy games: home Giants, home Raiders, home Dolphins. They got some really hard games at Green Bay, at Chiefs, home Lions. But then they got all these coin flip games at Falcons, at Chargers, home Bears, home Cowboys, home Seattle. If Jaden Daniels misses any time, this is where I'm going with this. If he misses any time, I know they re-signed Marcus Mariota. I think that's a really smart signing. Similar style, but he's so good, and they depend on him that I just think you can't have any missteps with the schedule. A lot of primetime games. They do have a few short weeks, and then this December schedule is weird, man. On the 14th, they're at Giants. 6 days later, home Eagles. 5 days later, Christmas, home Dallas, and then that big game in the last week may mean something to both teams. It's too much. It's a ever so slight lean to the under. Who said it? Ethan wanted a 10.5 so bad on this total, would have smashed the under. Ethan agreed. Except what do the books do? They just nail these season win totals. So
yeah.
It's brutal. I'm gonna lean just ever so slight on the under, and if Jaden Daniels stays healthy, I will be eating those words.
Folks, hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed here. Ethan, I mean, this is why we love doing these live streams. We have so much recorded content that you can see. It'll get right into your inbox. You'll see it when you're subscribed. But these live shows are great because we get to go back and forth with you, the viewers. We love this community that we've built. So while you're hanging out with us, a like goes a long way, folks. That's all we ask for. Hop below in the comments afterwards. Let us know what teams you want to see. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I mean, over 200,000 people can't be wrong. They're subscribed. You should be as well. I'm with you, though, Ethan. This guy's nailed it. He stole my notes. The last line in my notes, Andy, is at 10, end quote. Usually I paraphrase, but I will quote and read it verbatim off the second monitor here. At 10.5, this would be a major bet on the under. At 9.5, I can only lean that way. End quote. It's a perfect number. And I hate being the broken record that's like, well, this number is so great. This 9.5 is absolutely perfect. And I will say, Andy, the last thing, you talked about Washington and the coin flip games. Top 5 in luck metrics last year. Again, this is something I don't really subscribe to, but I think it at least can give you some perspective on a team either overperforming or underperforming. Top 5, 2 teams rounding out is the 3rd and 4th, the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. So which way does the luck break differently for these 2 teams? Which way does the coin flip go for these 2 teams? That and how Dallas looks with the new head coach, that's probably going to determine who wins the NFC East and who reaches that double-digit win total. So I think this is a fascinating division this year. I think Dallas and even what the Giants did could kind of throw a wrench into everyone pre-handicapping this division because it's always a crazy one, Andy. But I think a fascinating team to watch is this Commanders, and does regression bite them, or do they take a monster leap here in year 2?